Your future doesn't need more hustle. It needs a system. Until you build one, you'll always be stuck doing the work instead of growing the business. Time freedom is the one distinguishing factor that I've noticed between founders and managers that don't feel like they're getting ahead in life and the ones that truly run and manage successful businesses. It's easy to get trapped in the hamster wheel of activities and being busy all the time, working all sorts of hours but not really getting anything done. And I used to be in that same position. I used to be the guy that used to work unending hours. I used to work myself to death. I didn't have any hobbies. I wasn't focused on my fitness. I wasn't properly focused on my marriage. I wasn't properly focused on my religious life. And everything in my life was steadily going to a downhill. But I worked harder and more hours and longer hours, but it didn't really seem to make the change. It's not until I realized that time freedom is the multiple that creates this success. You see, you can't grow a proper business if you don't have the time to spend on it strategically. If you can't spend proper time thinking about your business and then making changes according to that, then you are just going to be on the same hamster wheel, running and running and running. You see, time freedom isn't a dream. It's a deliverable. It's a system. It is a well thought out plan that gets executed. You see, for many founders and managers that I've worked with, they can't even comprehend the concept of having free time. They don't even understand the concept of not working 12 to 14 hour days because they don't shape their world in such a way. They don't shape their week in such a way. They don't look at their calendars, their activities, and say no to the things that don't promote their growth. You see, you have to create the future you want. You have to create the life that you want. But if you are not actively pursuing that, then guess what? If you don't change anything, nothing different will happen and you're going to end up in the exact same place you are right now. And that would be a shame if you were to look back a year from now and realize that you're in exactly the same position as you were right now. If you stopped working tomorrow, what would be the first thing that breaks? You see, a lot of the founders and managers that I work with are so tied up in their business that they can't even step away for a day. I've seen people that are really, really sick, that are actually at the point where they should consider going to hospital, that don't take the day off because they know if they step away, there will be absolute chaos. And that's not a business, that is a prison. That's a business that doesn't let you go. And it's not scalable, it's not repeatable, and you don't want to grow that business. You don't want to deal with more of that. And that's the issue that so many founders sit with. They grow this thing that's unmanageable, but they never stop to reinvent the way they approach that work. And if they work hard now, they work harder tomorrow. If they work a lot now, they work more tomorrow. If they don't have time for anything in their life now, it completely consumes them. And that is not the type of business that you and I want to get involved in. A good place to start implementing systems is the one that will break immediately when you are not there tomorrow. You know what that one thing in your business is. It's the one thing where if you were to stop and not be there for a day or a week, there'd be absolute chaos. I want you to focus on that section of your business first. I want you to go and pinpoint what that is and then say to yourself, what do I structure around this one thing to make sure that even if I'm not there, it happens and it runs? And then you tackle the next one and the next one and the next one. You see, a lot of managers and founders are so scared of delegation that they don't want to give any of these activities to their teams. They don't want to assign responsibility and accountability to people that can run with it. And it's for this reason they end up being the custodians of that work. They end up being the one that needs to do the work. And because their team is not used to being responsible for it anymore, because they just manage it as the founder and manager in any case, you end up in a position where it becomes acceptable that you are the person that is going to do it. Or when there's a fire, you're going to be the person that extinguishes it. And that's the reason why you need to fix the thing that would break first. In order to achieve time freedom, you firstly need to understand where you are losing the most of your time. And what I've seen with founders and managers I've worked with is it's very hard for them to pinpoint exactly what they're losing their time to. Because they're working hard, they're investing the time, but when they look back on a month, they can't see where they've lost their time, but they can also see that they haven't really achieved anything they wanted to. They just got caught up in the day-to-day again. Now, it's for this reason that I invented a 2-minute quiz that you can take online right now called the Time Leak Audit Quiz. It's linked in my description box down below, and it really does take just 2 minutes. This quiz is going to tell you exactly what you are losing your time to, how severely you're losing that time, and then most importantly, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do about it and what to put in place so that you can start regaining time immediately. It really is a powerful framework, and it is the starting point for you to understand where you are losing your time, and it's going to give you the foundation to build on top of in order for you to get to your ultimate time freedom goal. So it's the Time Leak Audit Quiz, linked in the description box down below. It really takes 2 minutes. The longer you delay systems, the longer you delay freedom. You see, there's so many people that I've worked with that tell me that they're too busy to implement the system. They're too busy to sit for a couple of hours and think about the ultimate process. They're too busy to make the change that's necessary. But guess what? Every hour that you don't spend fixing your system is multiple hours that you're going to spend in the future still fixing the same problems. And every hour that you spend away from implementing the right system is an hour that you are going to lose in the future that you will never be able to regain. I talk about the ROI of systems. It's the return on investment of implementing the right system. You see, and the scary thing is a lot of times these systems won't take us very long to implement. The solution and the system that we need to implement is probably going to take us about 10 hours to implement, and it could save us potentially hundreds of hours in a year. But if you're going to be too busy to find the solution, then guess what? You're going to be even busier repetitively fixing the problems that arise. You see, for every system you don't fix, there's 10 new problems that come up. There's 10 new fires that come up, and that becomes an unmanageable amount of work in the future. And that's why people find themselves in this prison. They really do get to a point where there's not enough time in a day to put in the work to actually get everything through. You know, I sat with someone the other day. They've got 400 unread emails in their inbox. Now, to work through 400 emails is probably going to take you a full day or two. But had you just kept it up to date, had you just had the right email management system in place, had you just delegated the emails that you couldn't get to your team, how many hours would you not have saved? How many tasks would you not have dropped? How many fires would never have even been ignited in the first place? But you're too busy. You are too busy to fix the problems. And that's why I urge you to really invest your time into the systems. Really invest your time in finding the solutions, because if you find the solution once, then that becomes the framework of thought. That becomes the process. That becomes the system with which you and your team operates in. And it really is going to give you the time freedom that you need so that you can think about the business, so that you can strategically reinvest your time back into the business, so that you can look at the sections of the business that you know you haven't touched in months, so that you can unlock the growth and the potential that you know is yours to gain. Freedom isn't found in breaks, it's found in structure. You see, a couple of years back, I used to think that I would burn myself to the ground and then I'd go away for 5 days, go on holiday, look at the beach, put my toes in the sand, and everything will be fantastic. But guess what? I might as well have just walked back into the office that coming week with a fire extinguisher in my hands and the sand still between my toes, because I wouldn't have had any rest at all. And by the time I got back, I would have had so much chaos to deal with that I really wouldn't even have properly rested on the holiday, because I knew what was coming. Freedom is found in structure. It's found in the daily systems and processes that you implement that allow you to free yourself from the system. You see, you need to be in a position where you can walk away for a couple of days and nothing changes. In fact, you should be in such a position where your team is so competent at what they do, they're so knowledgeable about what they do, that when you come back, there should be changes brought in and your team should say, look at what we've implemented while you were gone. Look at how much we've grown. Look how much we've sold. Look how much we've executed. Look how many new clients we've signed on while you were away. That's the objective, not working yourself to bits and then taking a week or two at the end of the year and coming back and redoing it all again. And I know that's what so many people do. That's what so many businesses do. That's what so many founders and managers do. They operate themselves into the ground and then they take a 2-week break and they think that everything will be fixed. But it's not until you spend time on the systems. It's not until you spend time on the processes. It's not until you delegate properly to your team, not just tasks, but authority, ownership, and accountability. It's not until then where your system can run itself whether you are there or not. And then it doesn't matter if you step away. It doesn't matter if you've gone on holiday. It doesn't matter if you're sick. It doesn't matter if you end up in hospital. It doesn't matter if you need to go to your kid's game, because the system runs. And that's what big scalable businesses have achieved. They've gotten to a point where the business can run. They can take elements of the system and plug and play and take people away and put new people in. And guess what? It's geared for success because that's the only thing this machine understands. It's the only thing that business understands is execution, is deliverability, is growth, is sustainability. And it's the biggest favor you can do yourself. It's the biggest favor you can do your team. And it's the biggest favor that you can do your family, is to build a business that can sustain itself, that can run without you, that allows you to take the time into your own hands to reinvest strategically into the business, so that, guess what, next year we do more. Next year we've got more people, we've got more business, we've got more profitability, because the system understands the logic. And it's your responsibility as founder and manager to implement that. It's your duty to delegate that responsibility to your team. It's your responsibility to make sure they understand what they need to do in a day. And the longer you wait, the longer you're going to have to wait, because there are certain things, when they compound, your problems are going to be unmanageable, my friend. And I speak to you as a friend. I speak to you as someone that has gone through this before. I've gone through burnout. I've seen what it looks like. I know what it's like to not spend any time with the people that matter to you. I know what it's like to not spend any time on the things that matter to you. I know what it's like to be caught up in a business where you don't know if you're coming or going. You haven't touched anything strategic in months. You haven't looked at anything properly strategically in months. And that's reckless to everyone inside your organization. It's reckless to anyone on your team. It's reckless to yourself, to your family, and to your future. And it's your responsibility to change that. I want to thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I know today wasn't probably the easiest video to watch, but I really do want to thank you for sticking around, because that's the message that I think you need to hear. If you found value in this video, I want to ask you to please subscribe to the channel. I want to ask you as well to please give this video a like. It's YouTube's way of understanding that this is valuable content, and if you do in fact like this video, it is going to push it out to more people, and it's going to help them to really get the value that you have just received. If you found value from the contents of this video, I want to urge you to please share this with anyone that you think will find value from it as well. That can be a family member, it can be a colleague, it can be your spouse. Send this video to them so that they as well get the gift of knowledge. You see, if you've gained knowledge and information from something that's going to change your life, then you need to share that. It's your obligation to share that with someone that you know needs it. And it's only in that way that we're going to build a community of founders, of managers that support one another, that sustain each other, that help each other to build businesses, processes, systems that are scalable. And it's only in that way that we can truly create wealth and prosperity for one another. I want to ask you as well to please head on over to my description box down below and to sign up for my weekly newsletter. It's in this weekly newsletter that I share all of my time-saving frameworks with you. It's not a spammy newsletter at all. It's one email every single week, but it has so much value that I know you will regret it if you haven't signed up for it. Then if you haven't signed up for the Time Leak Audit Quiz, I urge you to please do so. It really is a quiz that only takes 2 minutes to complete, but it's going to get you started on your journey of time freedom. It's going to tell you exactly where you're losing time, how severely you're losing time, and it's also going to tell you exactly what to do about it. And the fantastic part is you can start implementing those changes today already. So thank you so much for spending your time with me, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Cheers.